Yo, what's good, kings and queens? It's your boy Dawn, and I'm back for another reaction video today. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and hit all so you know every time I post, you heard. If you're not new to the channel, you already know what to do. Go down below, hit that like button. Y'all already know. If you get pinned, you win, you heard. Thank y'all for popping out and showing love continuously. I truly do appreciate it. As y'all can see by the title and thumbnail, you heard, we're going to be reacting to the top 10 most difficult sports. I don't know if you ever played any sport. I don't know what's going to be on this list. I feel like, me personally, out of the top 10 most difficult sports, or the top one or few that I could think off the top of my head that I know that's difficult, is probably like nothing. I'm not going to lie. I'm just athletic, so I could probably like play any sport. But there are some sports that are difficult. Like lacrosse was hard at first. Once I started like getting in the gym and just practicing, it became easier. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but I became better. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna be on this list. It gotta be sports that they just handmade. Swimming is hard, like actual competitive swimming. What else is a tough, difficult sport? I don't know. I'm pretty athletic, so if you think any sport is difficult, let me know down below. A lot of y'all probably are super, athletic, super aren't. Who knows? Just let me know down below what's hard and what's not. Pause, what's difficult and not. You heard? Let's get into it though. Let's see what made this list. You heard? What is this?
Have you got the skills required to play? Welcome
Boxing,
to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most difficult sports.
I feel like it can be competitive.
Begin,
I wouldn't say it's
we publish
difficult.
new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Hit that like button, you heard, that subscribe button, notification bell.
We're looking at some of the most challenging popular sports as ranked by ESPN and its panelists. These are based on a balanced evaluation of the endurance, strength, power, speed, agility, flexibility, nerve, durability, hand-eye coordination, and analytical aptitude required to excel in the sport. Number 10, football, also known as soccer.
Okay.
Requiring little equipment and with basics that are easy to learn, football has unsurprisingly become the most played sport in the world.
Right.
That being said, while it might be easy to get involved, mastering the nuances and techniques of this game is anything but. Otherwise known as soccer, it's all about speed and control.
And agility.
It actually requires a higher level of agility than any other sport we'll be discussing today. Considering the size of the field and long periods of often continuous play, it also demands extreme endurance. Add to that the analytical aptitude necessary to coordinate with your teammates and navigate your opponents, and you've got a game that is both physical and cerebral.
It is.
Number 9, baseball, softball. It might involve a lot of standing around, but don't let that fool you. Baseball and softball are both seriously tough, while the endurance required is marginal compared to a...
So I'm not gonna lie, I thought they was gonna put like more difficult sports than this. Hopefully, like as they go down the list, it gets more difficult, but I don't know. These are not that difficult. If you practice, you're gonna be straight. Get your work in, you heard, put in them hours.
Other sports. The level of hand-eye coordination they demand is off the charts. And apart from those two outliers, baseball and its variant softball requires a mid to high level of performance in pretty much every other one of the categories discussed. Analytical aptitude and raw power are both essential, as the sport is rooted in careful planning, split-second decisions, and short but powerful bursts of energy. So, yeah, there is a fair amount of downtime, but players never stop thinking. When they're active, these athletes are giving it their all. Number 8, gymnastics. We've got one word for you.
I feel like this should have made it more
as baseball is to analytical aptitude, gymnastics is to flexibility, and then some. Considering the fact that flexibility seemingly becomes an issue by default as we age, you can only imagine the sort of rigorous training that professional gymnasts go through to maintain the awe-inspiring range of movement essential to their sport. Of course, while professional gymnastics would be literally impossible without a high level of flexibility, that's far from being the only factor. Just look at the sort of positions these athletes put themselves into. That requires power to achieve, strength to maintain, and nerves of steel to even attempt.
Dang.
Number
I
7,
could do that.
tennis.
I just can't do
Like baseball, this racket sport requires wicked hand-eye coordination. When being served, tennis balls are
flips.
regularly traveling at well over 100 miles per hour. The WTA recognized world record is 157.8 miles per hour for men and 131 miles per hour for women.
Crazy.
Now, imagine the sort of hand-eye coordination and reflexes required to not only hit a tennis ball traveling at those speeds, but also accurately redirect it. Then there's the power necessary to hit them at that speed to begin with.
Yep.
If you've ever played tennis before, you'll know that endurance is also a major factor.
Yes.
It takes excellent cardio to be able to keep moving around the court like that. Agility, too. Number 6,
for days.
martial arts.
Martial arts, yeah.
This one should come as a surprise to no one. To be involved in martial arts at a professional level involves extreme levels of dedication, physical fortitude, self-awareness, and control.
Word.
Regardless of which form of martial arts you're talking about specifically, you're going to need power, speed, agility, and durability to make it through a bout. Of course, the analytical aptitude also needs to be there, since you're going toe-to-toe with an opponent both physically and mentally, meaning that you've got to be able to analyze and adapt your approach as you go. Number 5, wrestling. On the subject of combat sports,
martial arts is
how
harder
about
than
this
wrestling.
long-practiced form of grappling? It's an interesting one because, like martial arts, it requires a fair amount of power and flexibility, but it differs from the former in that it demands significantly more strength. Unlike in most sports, when wrestling, your muscles are exerting force for long periods of time rather than in short, powerful bursts. The specifics vary depending on the type of wrestling you're doing, but in all forms of competition, a wrestler is grappling for superiority over their opponent, or to push them out of the ring, both of which require tremendous strength to accomplish. Number 4, basketball. There are few professional sports that demand a more varied performance from their athletes than basketball. This relatively young sport, invented in 1891, is second only to football in terms of agility, but in almost every other regard, it is more taxing on the players. The style of play requires a high level of endurance and analytical aptitude, while the physicality of the sport demands strength, power, and speed. Where it really stands out, however, even within the context of other ball-based sports, is the hand-eye coordination involved.
Right.
The target is incredibly small, considering the distance from which the athletes are often shooting. Number 3, American football. Evolving out of traditional football, meaning soccer, and rugby, this distinctly American game takes a serious toll on its athletes. Protective equipment and all, the extreme physicality of the game is devastating, and injuries are very common, meaning that it requires a high level of durability. The game is truly explosive in nature. While it may have a lot of stopping and starting from the moment that the quarterback gets the ball, every player on the field, defense and offense alike, is giving 100% to the task they've been assigned. As such, the sport demands both strength and power of a level rarely seen in other sports. Number 2, ice hockey. Requiring only marginally less durability than football, but still a whole lot of it, hockey is arguably the most technically complex team sport that an athlete can play professionally. The speed and style of gameplay require an incredible level of analytical aptitude, and the often lengthy periods of uninterrupted play demand an exceptional level of coordination between players.
Right.
Of course, because of the physical nature of the game, strength, power, endurance, agility, and speed are all prerequisites. Really, there are few aspects of athleticism in which hockey players can afford to not excel. Number 1, boxing. This long, popular combat sport requires an off-the-charts level of performance in more ways than one. The length of each round requires a high level of endurance, while the nature of the competition demands peak power and strength. Speed and agility might not be quite as crucial as in some of the other sports discussed today, but depending on a boxer's fighting style, they are still major factors. Boxing requires comparable durability to American football, but admittedly more nerve and significantly greater hand-eye coordination. In many ways, a boxer is an athlete operating at peak competitive physical performance.
Yo, if y'all enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments what was your favorite sport or which I felt like was the most difficult. I feel like they were going to give us some more difficult sports, but I'm able to do all of these without too much difficulty, you heard. I've had experience in every sport that they named. Also, I I would say yeah, basketball probably requires the most amount of boxing. I'm sorry, requires the most amount of everything. It's full body movements, legs, foot, arms, everything. I'm surprised they didn't put like kickboxing in there, but or UFC. But anyway, man, if you feel like they missed anything, let me know down in the comments. Let me know also if I should react to something similar or different than this you heard. Moral of the story is nothing is too difficult when you put that work in. You heard? Peace, love, done.